All right, so we're back on another episode of this old chopper, this old Softail. You can see behind me, part of our plan to turn this into a LowRider Softail is to get rid of the cowboy forward controls and go with the floorboard setup. So I want to thank the guys from Cycle Warehouse for digging through all the parts that I need to convert that over. You can see now we got our floorboard deal mostly set up and figured out. One of the things we still have to do is figure out how we're going to do this master cylinder. I think I'll probably try to use the remote reservoir and just use the one that was on the bike. So that means I'm going to have to fab up a little bracket here and then come up with a plunger for the right size, but we're on our way. Still waiting for parts to come in. We got stuff coming in from JP Cycles that's going to help us convert our wide glide front end over to an FL, like old style nacelle. We got the wheels the other day, I showed you guys, but got to get that nacelle in the bottom tree. Also have a set of neck cups coming that are going to give us a couple degrees in the tree. We're waiting on the dirty tail kit from John Shope to come in so we can start mocking that stuff up. But all in all, we're on our way. Okay, so this is Chris and Mark, another episode of this old Softail.
This old moron.
And last we told you we were going to put a new ignition in. Thank you to the guys from S&S, by the way. They upgraded us to the HI4N, and we're going to get this thing running just to verify that the motor is good and everything before we tear it all to shit and start working on the frame and all that. You want to kind of make sure you don't have a rattly old piece of shit motor.
Radley?
Radley.
That's like the cool kids were Radley, dude. This bike's Radley.
All right. Want a shot? So, doesn't sound like anything real bad is going on there.
It runs.
It runs. It sounds like it's.
It runs, Pat.
That long ride to the trailer. Okay, so this is Chris and Mark. End of another day at Flat Broke Chops and Rods and an episode of this old Softail. I said Softail.
Softail.
But you can see we got.
It's gonna be this new Softail here shortly.
All the ugly ripped off of it again, and getting ready to take the rear swing arm off and put the dirty tail kit on. That'll be in the next episode. Getting ready to bust on the handlebars and stuff because we got the old FL style nacelle and everything that we're gonna do on there. Get rid of these 1990 Easter egg wheels.
What do you mean?
Dude,
Remember the cutter? We're gonna sell them something they can use them as slicers.
Dude, if they had spinners, I'd be keeping that shit. I'd be all up in that jammy.
I'd be all up in their jammies.
Friends, are you troubled with what to do with your wheels that were popular in the 90s? Well, now with a simple inversion of this otherwise perfectly okay rim, I have a salad shooter solution. Stay tuned for another episode of This Shit Doesn't Make Any Sense Anymore. Tune in next time when we continue to take the 90s off of this motorcycle and bring it up to date.
It runs now.
Sign up to win it. Okay, back at Flat Broke Chops and Rods, and obviously you can see we got the front end busted down on this thing. What was a traditional Softail custom with a wide glide front end is now fastly morphing into what's going to be our LowRider Softail. The folks over at JMP make this nifty kit for running the old style nacelle, which this thing is going to be so bitchin' when we get it all together. But in order to run these, there's a set of trees that would convert this first over to like a Heritage Fat Boy, and then from Heritage Fat Boy we converted over to the nacelle with this kit. Real nice kit, not super expensive. I think we paid $300 or so for it, $400 bucks. But it gives you everything but the headlight to make that transformation. You get the cowbells, everything. So nice kit from them. Waiting on the trees to get here, and we're going to make that transformation in the front end. Obviously, we're going to swap out the legs too. We're waiting on our tires to come for our rims so we can get the actual roller established. But in the meantime, we're turning our focus to the back end of the motorcycle. You can see here we real quick got our Dirty Bird fender mocked up to take a look at to see if this is what we're actually using and how it's going to go together. But right now we can't even really tell how this is going to be because we've done nothing with the swing arm yet. This is part of John's Dirty Tail kit. I love this look because it gets rid of this triangulated swing arm of the Softail and it converts to this FL style swing arm. Oh, upside down. So you do that, then you get these outside mounted traditional FL shocks. We still have to figure all of this out, but it gives you a real neat look in the back end. And hopefully, because like I said, this kit was designed for a 2001 and up. Since we found that out, Sideshow has been real cool and taking us through all the particulars of what we have to do to make this work on an older bike. The reason we're doing that on an older bike is not only did we get this super deal on a donor Softail, but these early Softails, you're starting to be able to pick them up for $2,500 and $3,000. And like that's a great place for like any garage guy to spend a couple grand, get a project like this in, start putting some of these cool parts to it, you know, make a different kind of motorcycle. So that's what we wanted to work with here, rather than, you know, take a brand new Softail or newer Softail and start ripping it apart. We feel like, you know, for our reader base, this will be a lot more realistic of a possible real world project. So here we are. As soon as we get this front end back end thing figured out, man, it's going to be yank the motor, get everything cleaned up and dressed up on the frame, shoot the frame off the paint. We still have to fit our tanks and stuff. They should be in any day. And we're looking to race that Daytona deadline. So I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, Greasy Gears Garage, at Flat Broke Chops and Rods today. Stick around.